Okay, so let's do some integration. You'd probably see this integral in Calc 2. And how you can solve it is we can use what? We can use integration by parts here. So if we see that, what do we have? We have, let me use my cursor, we have a polynomial and we have a logarithm, right? And you may be tempted to do some sort of substitution, and then I would tell you, I don't think that would really work out, right? Like, there's nothing that really substitutes out nicely here. But what you can do is you can use integration by parts. I'll write out the formula. So u dv is equal to uv integral v du. Right? This is integration by parts formula. And then what we do is we just pick, what are we going to pick, right? That's what we do. We ask a question, what is what? Is this u or is this dv, right? Okay. And you'll notice if we pick the wrong one, the problem will get harder. If we pick the correct one, it should get easier, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see which one. So if we let u equal what? Well, let's just pretend we let u equal square root y. Okay. So then we see that du is equal to 1/2 y to the negative 1/2 dy. I write this a little bit nicer, right? It'll be looking something like this: dy to square root y. That's what it would look like. Okay. Then that means that dv must be this whole thing over here, right? Okay. So then let dv equal what? ln y dy. So then what we do is we say if we take the antiderivative of this, then, right, we just want v by itself, then v is equal to the integral ln y dy. Okay. And then, only because I know this by heart, I know it's y ln y minus y. Like, that's the answer. But then, if you could see, like, look at that. You'd have to take this integral again and put it in here, and then, like this so far does not look like it's a nice substitution. So we know that we probably should go the other way. Okay. So it's not that any of this stuff is wrong. In fact, you can do it this way. It's just harder. And a lot of times with Calc 2, you're going to realize that you want to find the technique or find the substitution or find the method, whatever it is that is the easiest. So instead, we're going to let u equal ln y. Okay, then we know that du is equal to 1 over y. That's the derivative of the natural log. Okay. And then let's let what? We'll let square root y dy equal dv. So then if we want v, right, we integrate both sides. We get square root y dy, and then we can see that this will become y to the 3/2 divided by 3/2. And you don't add an integration constant when you're doing integration by parts. It's really unnecessary. You can see that this becomes 2/3 y to the 3/2. Okay. So now we can try to use this stuff, and let's see what happens when we put it into our integration by parts formula. So if this is u, where's u? This is u. So we're going to have ln y. And then what's dv? dv is this, right? So what we just did is just rewrite the integral. So our original integral is this guy. And we're saying that u, it's equal to u, which is ln y, multiplied by v, which is this guy over here, 2/3 y, so 3/2. Okay. Minus the integral of this guy, again, 2/3 y to 3/2. And then du, which is this, right over here. 1y. One second, let me include the dy in this parenthesis. So this is your answer right here. This is your answer. Like, except you probably should try to clean it up a little bit and do this integral. So let's rewrite this a little bit nicer. I'm just going to put this guy in the front here. 2/3 y 3/2 ln y minus, and we can see that what's going to happen, we can pull the 2/3 out. We don't really need to do that. We'll keep it in there. Maybe it'll cancel out. So this is y to the 3/2. This is y to the 1 right down here. So it's 3/2 minus 1, 3/2 minus 2/2, which is y to the 1/2 dy. Okay, so this is our new integral, and this is a lot easier to do. And if I go in blue real quick, and I just want to do this little guy right here, right, just this integral, not including the minus sign, but just this integral right here, I see that. What is that going to become? So 2/3 y 1/2 dy. It's going to be 2/3 times y, so the 3/2 divided by 3/2, right? Which means this is going to be 2/3 times 2/3 times y to the 3/2, which is equal to 4/9 y to the 3/2. Okay. So now we can go back to our answer here, this guy, and we know that it's equal to 2/3 y to the 3/2 ln y minus 4/9 y to 3/2. Right, and then let's just try to do a little bit of factoring here to make it look a little bit nicer, is we could factor out the y 3/2 here. We could also factor out the, the 2/3 and all that. So I will do that as well. We'll go 2/3 y 3/2. Then we're just going to get ln y minus 2/3. So this would be your indefinite answer, but you have bounds, so you do need to do a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to go back to green, and we're going to insert the bounds here. So 4 and 1, that's your bounds. So wherever you see a y, I'm going to put a 4. 2/3 4 3/2 minus, no, not minus, factored out, ln what? ln 4 minus 2/3 plus, not plus, my bad, minus, and now I'm going to put a 1 wherever you see a y, which is just going to become 2/3, and then ln of 1 is 0, so it's going to be 0 minus 2/3. And as you can see, we have, this is our new answer. And okay, so we can think 4 to the 3/2 power. What is that? Well, that's, I'll do it up here real quick. Do it right here. 4 to 3/2 is the same thing as 4 square root 4, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. Great, you guys did not see that. There we go. Well, I'm going to cover it up anyway, because that's just simple arithmetic. I just did that just to show you that our answer will look a lot nicer here. Okay, so let's write down the answer. So we have 2/3 times 8, and then ln 4 minus 2/3 minus what? And this is 2/3 times negative 2/3. So this will become negative 4/3, but times negative 1, which is plus 4/9. Okay. And of course, we're not done completely. We want to simplify this a little bit more. So we have this guy over here, which I'm just going to write as 16/3 ln 4 minus 4/9 plus 4, oh wait, sorry, 1 second. There's a 2/3 and an 8 here. So this is 16/3, right? 16/3. And I'm going to factor it into this guy. So it's going to be 16/3 times 2/3. And then now the plus 4/9. Okay, and what is this going to be all equal to? This is going to be 16/3 ln 4 minus, and then this will be 32/3 32 over 9. So negative 32 over 9 plus 4 is what? That's negative 28 over 9. There you go. This is your answer. And I would just leave it like this. I think this is the nicest you can make it look like. There you go.